Here is another method for rooting plants, new and unusual to many, but the important thing is that it is effective. Almost any branch can be rooted this way, and I needed a new fig seedling. It is interesting that the process of rooting the branch is done on the tree and that we use an apple as an aid. Select the twig you want to root and turn into a seedling. Where you want the roots to develop on the branch, cut and remove the bark in a length of about 3 to 4 centimeters. We need a juicy apple, which we will cut in half and clean of seeds. We will place the apple on the spot on the branch where the bark has been removed. The inner juicy part of the apple should be in contact with the branch. To fix the apple on the branch, we use toothpicks. Stick a few toothpicks into the apple and it will be fixed. It may be a little unusual why an apple is used, but let's remember the rooting of a rose twig in a potato. Thus, the apple also contributes here, providing moisture and nutrients necessary for faster rooting. Now we need a larger plastic cup. Cut it with a scalpel just like this. Be careful not to cut yourself. I cut myself a little. At the bottom of the cup, we will make a hole, which is approximately the same diameter as the thickness of our branch. Then we will place the cup on the branch. We glue the cut part. We fill the cup with substrate and position it so that the apple is in the middle. We will pour more soil on top. Finally, we water it so that the substrate is moist. As is known, germination and rooting are better done in the dark. That's why we will wrap the cup with a dark bag. To fix it, I will use ties on both sides. I will tighten the ties well so that moisture will be retained inside. Moisture is another important factor for rooting plants. You have to be patient for about a month before we remove the nylon and see the roots. We cut the branch exactly below the cup and thus get a seedling. We will remove the cup as we no longer need it. Now the seedling is ready for planting. Plant it in the ground and don't forget to water it well. You can root branches of different plants in this way. I will try to get a clone from some old grandmother's rose, which has large, beautifully colored flowers. So I also tried this procedure with roses. I removed the bark on 3 to 4 centimeters of one branch. Then I cut the apple and cleaned it of seeds. I placed the apple on the place where the bark was removed. Since the rose has thorns, the apple fixed itself and toothpicks were not needed. I placed the cup on the branch over the apple, filled it with soil, and packed the soil on top. Then I watered it so that the soil was moist. A dark bag goes over the cup and is fixed with ties. It is known that a rose cutting can root in a potato, so why couldn't it also in an apple? In a month, the rose branch sprouted roots. We cut it just below the cup and thus get a rose seedling. We remove the cup and transplant the seedling into the ground with indispensable watering. Become our loyal member and join our exclusive team. Do you want the best tips in a new video before anyone else? Sign up for our email list right now. The link is in the video description and in the comments. By signing up, not only will you always be up to date, but you also become part of our community. The easiest way to support our work is to like the video. Click the follow button, then the bell, and finally confirm the bell. This means a lot to us. Thank you for your support.